Yo, what's going on, Geek Corner? This is your boy, Earthsmack, the man scientist, and welcome back to Saturday Morning Comics Live, man. 10 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Hope you guys doing awesome today. I hope you guys doing awesome. Man, this week has been great. This weekend we got New York Comic Con, and obviously we're gonna be talking about New York Comic Con, man. The announcements of New York Comic Con, some of the biggest announcements, some things that I'm most excited about, especially in the comic book realm, especially in the movie trailer or show or series trailer realm side of things, man. We're definitely gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about DCKO. Just a little bit, issue number 1, because I do have coverage of DCKO that will release next week. So just keep that in mind. So also I got another coverage I'm going to release next week, and that's Mr. Terrific Year 1. The latest issue of that, what I've been reading lately, and all that good stuff, man. And my comic book haul for the week, I did visit the comic book store and all that good stuff, man. You ought to know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. Now, the thing is with that notification bell, there's a little mini menu, little drop-down menu. Make sure you select all. That way you get notified on all of our content, live or recorded, man. I hope you guys enjoyed our videos this week. We did Absolute Evil this week. We did Ultimate Hawkeye like last week. So me and Boogie Blends did a Wednesday night show. We were talking about Microsoft Xbox and how it's in the decline these days. And AJ Shafan, he says, hi, so are you going to the Javits Center? No, I'm not, man. I am in South Carolina. Man. I'm out here, and I wasn't able to make it to New York Comic Con. That is a dream of mine. To actually go visit New York Comic Con, because I do have a few friends that's already at New York Comic Con, whether they are in the artist alley or be one of the exhibitors. One of the cases may be like one of my frat brother, a couple close friends that I do know that's there at New York Comic Con, and they're having the time of their life. So some of my followers or subscribers are there at New York Comic Con. They are there, and AJ asked, I'm going to be there next year. Hopefully I'll be there next year. We'll see what happens. And let's see here. I know I had my comic book haul out here. You know what? Hold on just 1 second. Just give me a minute. My comic book haul is like back here behind, right in front of my Marvel cabinet. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Let's get it. So, comic book haul, man. So, obviously, I seen some variant covers, obviously. So, I got that Absolute Wonder Woman there. And Batman number 2. Now, I actually did coverage on Batman number 2. You want to check that out? That was this week as well. This bad boy right here, obviously. And I did get a variant cover. A variant cover of Batman number 2. I really did like this cover, man. I was like, yeah, let me get that. Let me get that off your player. Spider-Man Noir. Got me some Spider-Man Noir, man. I did read that. I'm curious if I'm going to cover this or not. I'm back and forth on that. I'm really back and forth with that. Obviously, Mr. Terrific. Got that, Mr. Terrific there. This is honestly my favorite cover of Mr. Terrific in his run. So definitely got that. And if you are a Godzilla fan, if you like a kaiju fan, there is a new series that's out right now called Starship Godzilla. Like, you think Cowboy Bebop mixed with Godzilla, this is what this is. Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star type of vibe. Yeah, Starship Godzilla. This is I did read it. Pretty good so far. Pretty good so far. So if you definitely want to read that. But today we'll talk about New York Comic Con, like some of the announcements that New York Comic Con and coming out. Now AJ asks, have I watched all 3 Sonic the Hedgehog movies? Yes, I have watched all the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Me as a Sega head, like I counted robbery not to see that, you know. And all 3 of those movies are pretty damn good. They are pretty good. So I'm not even mad at that. You know, he says he's excited for Sonic the Hedgehog 4. I am too, man. I want to see what happens with that, man. I want to see what happens with Amy and Bit the Cat and all the other characters in the Sonic lore. And he's like, Sonic 4 is gonna be like the Avengers. Probably. It'd probably be like the Avengers, man. So now, as you can see, I'm a little stopped up. You know, a little stopped up, man. I don't know what it is, man. It's the weather change. Going into the fall, but just bear with me here. So we got New York Comic Con announcements, man. Like, oh boy. So obviously you seen like the X-Men on the thumbnail. So that's the main event of this all. And I'm gonna give you my take on that. And also what I'm gonna talk to you about is the Peacemaker season finale, like how I feel about it, what story they pulling that from, and we'll go from there. But one of the trailers that I did see is Invincible. Now, this is a very unique one, type of trailer, but it's coming out 2026. I want to say it's in March. Now, it did say the Amazon Prime Video series in the upcoming episodes is Dinosaurus, a reptilian genius who will cause serious headaches for the world heroes, and Matthew Rice will bring Dinosaur to life, but Dinosaurus is far from the only villain that will make their debut next year. Now, the leader of the Viltrumites, Thrag, that's right, Thrag, has been confirmed to arrive next season, and the big bad's voice actor has been revealed, and it's going to be Lee Pace. Now, if you're not familiar with Lee Pace, obviously he's Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy and in Captain Marvel, and he did play a heroic role as the elf Thranduil and the Hobbit trilogy, if you are a fan of the Hobbit. So from that standpoint, this is Thrag, man. Thrag is the villain. Thrag is the one. If you haven't read the Invincible compendiums or any of the comics, I highly encourage you guys to go read Invincible as a comic. It is different. It is slightly different than the actual show. And Robert Kirkman actually expressed that there's a particular story he didn't have the opportunity to flesh out in the comics. Like, I forgot the character's name, but he was in season 1, and he's like this devil type of character, but he was like a noir, you know, detective type of character. And he was revealed again at the end of the previous season, and this may be one of the focal points of this new season. So this going to deviate from the comics just a little bit, because it's a story that Robert Kirkman wanted to flesh out. Now, he did say that interview. Now, he did say that Pace's performance as the show's greatest villain is hyping up Pace's part in the series. I mean, it would certainly be weird if he didn't show up in the show. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, so it's tough. Now, also from the same interview, now that's the character name, Damien Darkblood, will play a major role, as Kirkman notes. In the comics, he was never sent to hell. Now, it was great character that we loved for the first season, and Clancy Brown's portrayal of him was spot on and so terrific. So we always wanted to figure out a way to get Damien Darkblood back into the show. And then, guys, do I want to spoil this? Like, there's a storyline from the comic that I never got around to doing. And every superhero story has some chapter where they go to hell and they fight the devil. And it happens at DC and Marvel, and it's a big deal. So I never got around to doing anything like that in Invincible, and I kept getting sidetracked, and there was never a good time. So it's entirely possible that we may be doing something like that in the show, and that scene at the end of that episode is setting that up. Now, I'm also hearing rumors I'm also hearing rumors that each episode is going to be close to an hour, man. Shout out to AJ, man. You say keep up the good work. And now I'm definitely trying to do that, bro. Definitely trying to do that. But yeah. So Damien Darkblood, I wouldn't mind seeing that storyline fleshed out. I really wouldn't mind seeing that. And I mean, honestly, it's going like word for word, bar for bar in ways as far as Invincible goes. I mean, obviously there's been some character swaps or some race swaps or whatever the case may be, which I don't mind at all. But Thrag is that guy, man. Like, what if Battle Beasts of, should I say that? I'm about to spoil it. Let's just say Thrag is a bad Mama Jamma, okay? Let's just say that. Let's just put that out in the atmosphere that that he's a bad Mama Jamma. So no, let's see what the comments say. Let's see what we got. It say, hey yo, what's good, Mac? We talking vintage comics, or is this just modern stuff that will be worth nothing in about 12 months? Nah, so basically what we're talking about is the announcements for New York Comic Con. What to look forward to, some trailers. I'm starting with Invincible and the new trailer for that coming out 2026. So, and it was so funny that Mark talked about, he addressed critics about him getting his ass whipped, basically. And how in the upcoming season, like he beat Conquest. I'm like, did you really? Did you though? Because this won't be the last ass whooping you're gonna take, brother. Like if you, even if you didn't read the comics, man, if you really pay attention to Mark's character though, Mark as a character, he has grown exponentially. Like he's definitely stronger now than he was then. So the enemies that he fought back then that he had issues with, he wouldn't have issues with now, except for Battle Beast. But that's where we at with it. And as far as who's the strongest person in the Invincible universe outside of the Viltrumites that's on Earth, you would have to say it's Mark. You know, you would have to say it's him as far as physical strength. So by the end of this, though, I would say by the end of Invincible, Mark will be that dude. Okay, he will be that dude. This is very slow character development for him. A very slow training arc in his ways. You know, even though he's going through with the story, Mark is getting work, bro. He is definitely getting work. Like he's catching that. Oh, yeah, he's catching that. He's catching that for sure. He's catching phase. He's definitely catching phase. But we will definitely see what happens with Mark, man. But I'm very excited. But from what I'm hearing each episode is close to an hour each, and the budget is crazy. I'm hearing the budget is like, 30 something million or something like that. But I'm not sure how true that is, though. I'm not sure how true that is. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. But I am hearing rumors though that budget is really high for this, and due to the success of Invincible, yeah, will it be 2 more seasons? I think at least 2 more seasons of Invincible, and that's it. And then we can all like just go back and binge watch the whole entire thing. But like I said, I highly encourage you guys to go read Invincible Compendium, because they got them in compendiums now. So you can go ahead, and the book is like this thick, man. And I want to say it's on Global Comics. I want to say it's on Global Comics. You can read it there. And Anissa, I am very curious if they're going to do that scene with Anissa. Like, I wonder if that's going to be, because that scene right there is I wouldn't say a turning point, but that's kind of like one of the things that Mark really goes through with her. Like it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. But I wonder if Amazon Prime gonna actually pull the trigger to do that. If they're actually gonna pull exactly from the comics and see what happens with that. But I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're gonna figure out another way to do that. But we'll see. Only time will tell. Now, the other trailer that we got was Wonder Man. And this is a Marvel property. And this coming out very, very, very soon. And I think December is the time period. And it says Marvel Studios' next Spotlight series, Wonder Man, is headed to Disney Plus this December. And we're hoping to see the first full trailer during Marvel's TV panel at New York Comic Con this Saturday. So today, we should see a full trailer. We should see a full trailer. Now, star Yahya Abdul-Mateen II appeared to confirm that we will be seeing something from the show at the event, and he shared a few new title logo earlier this week, and we now have the first look at the Wonder Man New York Comic-Con display. Now, it said that the term display in the display appeared to be props from the Wonder Man show within the show that Simon Williams is believed to be auditioning for. Now, if you look closely at the lunchbox, you'll notice the artwork. Now, I don't see the lunchbox. There we go. There we go. So, from that standpoint, it said the prevailing theory is that Williams will land the lead role in a reboot of the classic 70s Wonder Man series, which will allow the actual show to poke some fun at Hollywood's penchant for revisiting and revamping old properties and race-swapping characters. Now, we have heard that this show was developed as a superhero satire and a love letter to LA and the industry with tones similar to Silicon Valley, Dave, and Barry. Now, it says, they said the props used in Marvel Television's Wonder Man on display, and you got these items right here. And I do like that hat, though. I like that hat. I do like that hat. Now, also said that Marvel's head of streaming, television, and animation, Brad Whitburn, recently confirmed that the show's episode count, while also Wonder Man his endorsement as the best show no one has ever seen. And it says, as for an episode runtimes, Whitburn says there will be a leeway episode runtime, the shortest episode being 20-something and the longest at 40-something. Now, along with Abdul-Mateen as Simon Williams, Wonder Man will star Demetrius Gross as Simon's brother Eric Williams, aka the Grim Reaper, along with Sir Ben Kingsley as the returning Trevor Slattery. Byron Bowers is also on board as an undisclosed role, and we have heard that Ed Harris, Bob Odenkirk, Courtney Cox have been enlisted for cameos, but only Harris has been confirmed thus far. Now we got to find out about Wonder Man, because I can tell you straight out the gate, man, I'm not 100% familiar with Wonder Man as a character. I know he's been part of the Avengers. I know he definitely has abilities. Obviously, it is a show within a show. And obviously, in the comic books, Wonder Man is not, a black guy. But I still don't give a damn. But either way it goes, let's look at his abilities, though, man. Like, I got something up here. Let's see what the wiki says, man. We're going to go for... So he got superhuman strength, speed, agility, stamina, and reflexes, ionic energy physiology, enhanced vision and hearing, electromagnetic manipulation, ionic energy manipulation, virtual invulnerability, self-sustenance, power cycling, size alteration, healing factor, shape-shifting, teleportation, immortality, and flight. This dude is OP. Wonder Man is OP, okay? Wonder Man is OP. That man is OP as all get out. You know what I'm saying? People gonna be upset. Some people gonna be upset. They're like, Wonder Man is just like Captain Marvel in ways. Now, speaking of Captain Marvel, I really don't understand the hatred that Captain Marvel gets. Now, not as the show. I'm talking about like comic books wise, man. Because I've seen some people like really hate like Captain Marvel. Like, I understand maybe they look back at Civil War 2 and, she was at the mercy of the writers, that kind of thing. But still yet, man, Carol Danvers, man, as a character, like she's really dope. Like, she's really dope. Like, I highly encourage you guys to actually read some stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush up on some Wonder Man, because Wonder Man is on Marvel Unlimited. If you're not familiar with Marvel Unlimited, it is an app that you can actually read comics digitally from Marvel, like past issues and Like, you don't have brand spanking new issues of comics, like new releases like this week. Like, you wouldn't have that. But you would have full-on series, full-on storylines and stuff like that. So Marvel Unlimited app, you definitely want to download that if you want to catch up on your Marvel, catch up on your X-Men, your Spider-Man, your Wonder Man, your Captain Marvel, your Photon, your Blue Marvel. You know what I'm saying? You might want to, you definitely might want to check that out on Marvel Unlimited side of things. But yeah, Wonder Man, I'm actually really, really, really excited to actually see this, man. This, I do like the fact that they advertise this, and giving it its marketing that it deserves, because I know Disney got a lot of criticism for Ironheart because they didn't do as much advertising for Ironheart as they should, and Ironheart was really, really good. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was the #1 show that was streaming on Disney Plus. Like we made it good, and Ironheart was really good. And I think one of the criticisms as far as Disney Plus is concerned is that when it comes down to black characters or whatever, they don't put as much of marketing or advertisement on it like ahead of time, and they keep the ball rolling. But it seems like it's a little different with Wonder Man from this standpoint. And I think maybe now this is hopeful. Maybe they've learned from that past mistake. Like, you know what? We're going to market Wonder Man. We're going to keep this going because Wonder Man is actually a pretty cool character from what I read. And I'm barely scratching the surface here. I'm barely scratching the surface when it comes down to Wonder Man. And Pastel Phillips says Blade in Marvel Zombies was fire. Yo, let me tell you something, man. Blade as Moon Knight, that was, but the way he went out though, I got beef with that. I got beef with that. You mean to tell me all those epic zombie killings you was doing and you get taken out like that? Like you was fodder? Like I got an issue with that, man. I got an issue with that. Like, I'm cool with the death, right? But the how he died part, like that's the part I got an issue with. Let him have a one-on-one fight and just come out on the losing end. Like, have that, right? Don't just have him just pull up out of nowhere and just get gone, vaporize. You're done. That's the issue I have. That's the issue I have with that, man. But outside of that, though, Marvel Zombies was great, man. Marvel Zombies was really good. Like, I'm hoping for like another season. I really do like that. Now, as far as the comic is concerned, I'm not really feeling it like that. I'm really not feeling it like that. It's not one of those comics that I go out there and like go out my way to read. Like, oh my God, I gotta go get Marvel Zombies because it's so good. That's something I'm not really. That's something I'm not really like want to like jump into. Like I did try reading it. Now anytime that I say I don't like something, I did try it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's food or whatever the case may be. And Patel says, I got back into comics after a 20-year hiatus. And the first book I bought was Tomb of Dracula 10. And first appearance of Blade. He's my dude. Yes. Matter of fact, I think there's a Blade video game. I'm not sure how far out that is. I don't know what the release date is, but I am aware there is a Blade game. I did see a trailer for it like maybe last year or two. But yeah, I'm with you 110%. Blade is my dude. I'm not sure if you played Marvel Rivals yet, but Marvel Rivals Blade is, man, he does work. Daredevil got added yesterday. He made his debut yesterday, and Daredevil is a whole problem too. Daredevil and Blade is a whole problem. And thankfully I was able to play as Daredevil. I got to play with him a little bit more just to, get my feet up under me, that kind of thing. But Blade is really good, man. I mean, hopefully they get this thing off the ground with the MCU. Hopefully we get a Blade movie, a worthy Blade movie, and maybe what happens with Marvel Zombies and how people were talking about Blade as Moon Knight and what he was able to do there. Maybe that get the ball rolling and put Blade in production. Because, I mean, honestly and truly, we love Wesley Snipes as Blade. We did. We love Wesley Snipes as Blade. And we saw him in Wolverine and Deadpool. Well, Deadpool and Wolverine, rather. and Blade did phenomenal. The only gripe that I had with Blade being in Deadpool and Wolverine is that he didn't have his sword. Like he had like a smaller blade. Now that didn't sit well with me. Like I need that acid tip sword where he could do work out here. You know what I'm saying? I need that. But we'll see what happens with that new Blade movie. But I am certain that there is a Blade video game coming out. I mean, obviously, Wolverine is going to be first. I know Captain America and Black Panther, that's another Marvel deal. Marvel's doing a lot of video games and stuff like that. They got, Wolverine, Blade, that Captain America, Black Panther, if it didn't get canceled. Marvel Cosmic Invasion, which the demo is on Steam. I did play the demo, and Captain America is OP in that game. He is OP in that game. So, yeah. So you got Cosmic Invasion, and you got Marvel Tokon. You got Marvel Tokon, which is a fighting game. And Mr. Worldwide, what's going on, Mr. Worldwide? He said Black Panther is my guy. Hey, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Hey, what? Now, Mr. Worldwide, I will tell you, man. I don't know if you've read it yet, but Ultimate Black Panther, that's good shit. That's good shit. Ultimate Black Panther is really, really good. Anything in the Ultimate Universe is really go from good to great. Like Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther. I just did coverage on Ultimate Hawkeye, which was pretty decent. The Ultimates is shaping up to be really good. I read the Ultimate Universe 1 year later, which is really, really good, which is basically what Absolute Evil is on the DC side. Ultimate Universe 1 year later is like that on the Marvel side, on the Ultimate side of things. But he said Ultimate is good, but Absolute Universe is kind of peak. Yes. Hey, man, bro, I don't know, Patel. I don't know what it is, bro, but I have been gravitating over to DC a lot more. Now, I'm a comic book fan, like through and through. Like, I'm not just a Marvel head or just a DC head. Like, if it's good, I'm gonna just gravitate that way. So, like with the DC KO event, and obviously Absolute Evil #1 being out, Absolute Batman is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, it's going to be really, really interesting to see. Now, there is another. I ran across this at the very last minute, and it's from Comic Book Resources, right? And this is Batman. So, apparently, one of the greatest stories in Batman lore, Batman Nightfall, is coming in 2026. Well, hold on, pause. Part one is coming out in 2026. Now, it says it's based on a DC Comics event of the same name. That year-long storyline had a murderer's row of creators, including Doug Mock, Chuck Dixon, Alan Grant, Dennis O'Neil, Peter David, Joe Duffy, Jim Aparo, Graham Nolan, Norm Breyfogle, Jim Ballant, but also introduced two key elements of Batman lore to the world, Bane and Azrael. Now, as many fans may know, the Nightfall storyline largely began with Bane making his presence known in Gotham, aiming to prove that he was better than Batman by breaking him physically and mentally. He carried out his plan in part by letting all of the villains out of Arkham, forcing Batman to recapture them all, and putting him in a place where he was susceptible to attack. Now, at that point, Bane did his most famous party trick and defeated Batman by breaking his back. And one could guess that upcoming animated movie will follow the same narrative track, concluding with that element ahead of the second part of the story. Now, I will tell you this. I do have part 1 of Batman Nightfall. It's downstairs. Man, that book is thick. Son. That book is thick. That whole deal where, like, that time where Batman got his back broken, that is where they're from. That Batman Nightfall. That is where they're from, man. And I would never forget it. I walked into Revco. I'm telling my age, which is now CVS now. I walked into Revco and I saw a Batman comic, and I seen this Batman in armor. Didn't know it was Azrael. Didn't know anything. I'm like, man, this Batman looks cool as hell. So I bought it and I saw what Batman was doing, man. I was like, yo, what is this? As a kid, then didn't know what was going on, but this was during the Nightfall event. And I think that went on for like a year. And that made Bane such a polarizing character. Speaking of Bane, if you haven't read Absolute Batman, you might want to read that, man, because Bane is a whole ass problem. He is, nah. I don't want to run across this dude in the alleyway. But Batman Nightfall, I am super excited about that. One thing I want to see out of this, though, I really want to see word for word, bar for bar. If this is going to be part one, I need this to the letter, man. I need this. Like, obviously, you can't get to the inner minutia of what's going on with Nightfall. But at the same time with Nightfall, you can hit all the hits, explain what led up to this, why Batman is tired, why he's getting worn out, and then Bane comes out and then whooped his ass. That's what's going on. And, Rubius Arcos, he says, has anyone checked out Aztec Batman yet? I have yet to do that. I am going to do it. Oh, I'll tell you this, though. I haven't heard anything bad yet. If anything DC is going to do, though, DC is going to get a Batman animated movie right. That's all I'm going to tell you, man. I can't tell you what Batman movies were bad. Even the ones that were centered around the Suicide Squad, Batman was still good. Like that is very successful. I do love the fact, though, that when it comes to the DCU and the DC animated universe, like this is what DC needed to be. I feel like James Gunn should have done this a long time ago. But I do love the fact that he's given the reins to do what he needs to do as far as putting this stuff out there. But Aztec Batman, that's on the list. That's on the list of something to watch. I'm not even going to hold you, though. I will say, when I saw the trailer for Aztec Batman, I was like, I don't know. But Batman Nightfall, though, I am all in. That is probably, if done right, which I feel like they always do DC animated movies right? They always do it right. With this will be my favorite animated movie because Nightfall is like one of my favorite stories. And I'm going to go back and read that thing, man. Do y'all want me to cover Nightfall? Like part 1, part 2, part 3? Now, that's a lot to cover. I will say that. Like, that is a tasking. That is a tasking. Because that book is like this. Like, part 1 is like this. That's how thick this book is, man. That's how thick this book is. Like, man, that book is thick, son. That's all I can tell you. That book is thick. Like I like my pull list. Thick. Let me see if I can find like the actual. Let me see if I can find the actual book. Let me see volume 1. Let me see if I can find the image of that. It's not even gonna show it. I guarantee it's not gonna show it. I might have to actually go downstairs and physically show you guys that. Now, you know what? I'm gonna run downstairs and I'm gonna grab that book and I'm gonna show you how thick that book is, man. Stand by for a second. I'm gonna play some music for y'all. Give me a minute. All right, here we go. So, this is part 1, Batman Nightfall. Out of breath. So, actually, it's a little bit thinner than what I thought. So, this how thick it is. This is just part 1. And artwork really good. So, and they got the blue and gray Batman. So, I really did like this. So that famous Dark Knight Rises on the movie when he got his back broken, kind of pull it from this. So I will say, though, that word for word, bar for bar, that's what I need. That is what I need. I need word for word, bar for bar when it comes to Batman Nightfall, man. Like, just give me that. Give me that. And I needed to hit like Batman new series by Matt Fraction. I needed to hit like that. I needed to hit like that. Straight up. Just straight up. Now, so we done with that. So now I got to give you a little bit about Peacemaker. So from the Peacemaker standpoint, now I wonder, do I have my border? Yeah, there we go. Boy, I guess that right off hand. There we go. So Peacemaker. So the season is over. And look, all I'm going to just say, bravo to James Gunn and company. They did a phenomenal deal with Peacemaker. I think this season was better than last season. And this season touched on a lot of things. And it poked fun at a lot of things. If you are a fan of The Boys, it kind of did that in ways. And Earth X, like you got Earth X that's there, and obviously it's from comic books. Like this man reads comics, okay? Like he does his research before he airs anything. Like he doesn't like pull it word for word, bar for bar, like when it comes from I'm gonna just take this out the page and put it on screen. It's not like that, but he takes excerpts from that, things that he likes from that, and put it on screen. And we were introduced to Checkmate. Checkmate is actually a comic book run in DC Comics where Amanda Waller runs Checkmate. But this Adebayo is running Checkmate, but for good. Like if you really look at the end of the season finale of Peacemaker, not the very end, but when everybody was walking out together, like everybody solved their own personal issues, because what this new season was about is everybody having issues or coming to grips with the issues that they have with, like within themselves and with each other. And by the end of this season here, everybody pretty much solved their issues and realized we all need each other. So why not and you got Vigilante with millions, like, I mean, millions of dollars that he's just keeping in the basement. And now they got their own division. Like for Chris always wanted to be this international hero. Like he wanted to be internationally recognized, right? And from that standpoint, when Checkmate was created, by the end of it, he's in his happy place. He's like, why need to like fight to belong with these group of people that don't even like me or make fun of me versus the people that I'm already with, the 11th Street kids, and then with additions of other people, that I'm in my little happy place. Adebayo, like she's coming to grips with like her ex-fiance or ex-wife from that standpoint where, you know, if you want to do what makes you happy, it's going to kill you. And if you do what makes you happy, it's going to do the same to me. And, you know, we love each other to the point where it's going to kill us if we stay together, because somebody's going to be miserable. So it's just like, I gotta let you go. Like I gotta let you go away, because that's the only way I can truly be happy. Now that right there is kind of like Adebayo, she killed it this season. All right. I think it was more about, I mean, yeah, even though the story was centered around Chris, I do feel like Adebayo is right up there with Chris. Like they're right up there with Chris, like on the same level as far as them coming to grips with each other. Like Adebayo had like a Oscar-winning performance when she was talking to Chris, like just looking up at him. So like, you make me happy. Like this right here makes me happy. Like she said this stuff with like tears in her eyes, man. Tears in her eyes. And I felt that. Like I felt that, man. Like, yeah, Danielle is doing her thing out here. Danielle is doing her thing. Like this, just by all intents and purposes. All intents and purposes, she's doing her thing out here. So I mean, now the end though with Rick Flag Sr., I think everybody, hey, Rick Flag, bro, like,
hey, you ain't going too goddamn far now.
Yeah. See, you could have just left that man alone. Like, it's so funny though. It's so funny that Rick Flag got issues with Chris. But you don't have issues with Amanda Waller because Amanda, like as you've been told several times, Amanda is the one who put the order in, and Chris is the one following the orders. And at the time, yeah, Chris is at fault too because he followed orders. But at the same time, Amanda is the one that followed those orders, and she's so manipulative of Rick. And then so far that you make a deal with Lex Luthor, bro. You make a deal with one of the smartest people in the DC universe and opening up pocket universes, sacrificing people's lives, all because you wanted to get to Chris, all because you wanted to get the Peacemaker, and you want to put him in this Salvation universe, man. Like, speaking of which, now that made me think about a comic book run. Now, I have not read this comic book run, but you know, I did my research on this, and this is like Project Salvation, and that's where they put the villains in this pocket universe, basically to fend for themselves. And believe it or not, George R.R. Martin was the one who pitched the idea where there's a world where there's like various like supervillains that are captured by the Suicide Squad in a prison on a distant planet. And so obviously it ends up being like Joker versus Lex Luthor type of thing. And I mean, it ran in like September 2008, September 24, 2008. And I can read the Salvation run, but he's not pulling it from like verbatim. He's not doing it verbatim from for Peacemaker. So I mean, obviously, you know, Mirror Master, they got Catwoman and stuff like that. Obviously Joker's not gonna be there. Captain Cold might be there. Captain Cold might be there. Mirror Master might be there. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens with that. But I will say though, this Peacemaker season, this new series, man, I just wish it was more than 8 episodes, man. And honestly and truly, and James Gunn even said it himself, Rick Flag Sr. as a character is dumb. Like, he's dumb. Like, bro, you almost like burned down the entire planet because you got some booty. You saw the princess, you got some, and now your whole mind is all messed up. And Amanda was like bumping ugly with somebody. Don't change the fact that they're this and that and the third. And you find out they are that. So, like, come on, man. Rick Flag was not. Hey, man. He got to go. He don't make the best decisions. He has the right intentions, right? But he doesn't have like the best intentions there. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. Now we got to go back to the New York Comic-Con announcements, man, because I really wanted to make this the main event. And let's start with some other announcements here. Now, first thing, we got to go with the DCKO event. So we talking like Homelander, Vampirella, Red Sonja, all that, right? So here we go. So it says, according to BleedingCool.com, Homelander, Sub-Zero, Vampirella, Red Sonja, Annabelle, and Sam from Beneath the Trees appears in DCKO event. Now, it says that Scott Snyder has revealed at New York Comic-Con that DC's KO is going to be madder than expected, with its guest characters from different publishers, different media, including Homelander from The Boys, Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, Vampirella, Red Sonja, Annabelle from The Conjuring, and Sam from Beneath the Trees, where nobody sees. And now I'm going to say this: nobody saw anything like this coming, and this beyond the likes of having Batman crossover with Dr. Manhattan and Death Metal. This is true insanity, and how it's going to play out. Now, and this is where it ended up, as participants of DCKO opened up pocket universes to train in to prepare for the tournament in DC's KO number 3, out January 2026. Now, I read DCKO number 1, and I'm going to tell you, man, this thing is, whoo, there's a lot of dialogue. But also, this is a miniseries event, and it's going to end, if I'm not mistaken, like February. Okay, so issue 2 is coming out 11/26. So issue number 3 is December, I would assume. And then issue 4 is January. Issue 5 is February. Now, I would say, yeah. So DCKO number 5 will be February, if I'm not mistaken. So I did read DCKO number 1. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Like I said, you will see that next week coming forward. But, yeah. So these going to be people that's in pocket universes. Now, Homelander, I'm going to need Homelander to get wiped. You understand? I'm going to need him to get his ass whipped out here. You know what I'm saying? I need him to get his ass whipped. Like, if Homelander sees any of the big 3, like, obviously, I'm not spoiling this for you, but somebody does die. A lot of people die in DCKO number 1, man. It lets you know, right offhand, this shit is for keeps, man. Like, this shit is for keeps. And there's also like this underlying, like, behind the scenes, behind the curtain stuff that is going on with the DCKO event. But either way it goes, though. Either way it goes. With Homelander, Vampirella, Red Sonja, Sub-Zero, those are the individuals I'm very curious to see, like, what role would they play in the DCKO event. Obviously, they're going to be in different universes. So we will see what happens with that. Now, here's the other part. Now we get down to the nitty gritty. We get down to the Marvel side of things. And on the Marvel side of things, we got obviously, this is one of the things that caught my attention. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing the show about today. Now, it says that the Marvel X-Men panel at New York Comic-Con has seen the announcement of many new series and revivals, launching out of the back of X-Men Age of Revelation event as part of the new Shadows of Tomorrow publishing plan, and including a new limited series, Cyclops #1 by Alex Patnato and Rogue Antonio. We knew it was coming. We just didn't know what, who, and where. And it seems this is about Scott Summers lost in the mountains without his visor or any handy source of ruby quartz to keep his optic blast in check. Oh, and he's being hunted by the Reavers. What possibly could go wrong? Yo, okay, you know what I'm saying? Look, for a long time, I always wanted like a Cyclops like solo series. Like, no, let me rephrase. A Cyclops solo series that's worth its salt. You know what I'm saying? Because we see what this man could do as a leader. You know what I'm saying? No matter what group he's part of, obviously X-Men has always been a part of that. He's always led the team to victory. Between him and Storm, they are literally the greatest leaders in X-Men. Like, for real. Like, straight out the gate. Now, Rogue is getting there. But Cyclops, he's very matter of fact. Very matter of fact. And I feel like a lot of people don't give Cyclops his shine because I think a lot of people's first introduction of him was in X-Men the animated series, and he looks like as if he's a Boy Scout and he's like this cornball or whatever the case may be. He is not. I guarantee you that. He is not. This man is a master strategist. And his powers go beyond him using his optic blast. You know what I'm saying? Like, even without it, he'd be like one of the greatest leaders in X-Men. Optic blast is a bonus when it comes to his strategic mind or how his mind works when it comes to certain things. Now, it says the One-Eye X-Man is unleashed. Scott Summers is a mutant who is always in near total control of his powers and his emotions. But what happens when he's separated from the X-Men? Lost in a mountain, and he's being hunted by Donald Pierce and his cyborgs. So my other question to this is, it comes out February 2026, and I want to say that is when the Age of Revelation event actually ends. But very, very excited about that. Very excited about that. Now, this is the Shadows of Tomorrow. Now, obviously, you've seen this thumbnail up here. And it says Age of Revelation, the new status quo that takes the Marvel Universe 10 years into the future. Kicked off the last week and takes over the X-Men line through December. In its aftermath, the X-Men are now armed with knowledge to prevent one of the darkest futures in Marvel Comics history. It's time to embrace the bold actions, strengthen alliances, and empower the next generation. United, the X-Men will alter mutant kind's fate and ensure their dream isn't darkened by the shadows of tomorrow. But look, Let me just say this about the Shadows of Tomorrow. Not the Shadow of Tomorrow, the Age of Revelation. There is a high probability that I'm not going to read that. There's a high probability I'm not going to read that. Like, I don't think y'all's. Okay, so you got Amazing X-Men, you got X-Avengers, you got Binary, you got Rogue Storm, if I'm not mistaken, if that's the name. Oh, Storm Rogue. I think it's Rogue Storm. You got all these comic books that are out, man. It's like, it's a lot. It is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this. I'm not saying that the whole idea, the storyline or whatever is trash. I'm never going to say that. But, well, actually, I would say that if there's a storyline that's trash. But I'm not interested in that. That's something, as an X-Men stan, I am a X-Men fan, but it's some stories that I just can't get jiggy with. And I think with Age of Revelation is one of those ones I can't get jiggy with. So, like, Age of Apocalypse, AOA is really good. Like, AOA is really good. And obviously what takes place after that, because it did give you a look into the future on what could be. Obviously, Magneto is one of the ones that kind of stands out just a little bit because, you know, Magneto was the good guy in Age of Apocalypse, right? And now if you look at him now, he's a good guy. You know what I mean? He came a long way. This man came a long way. He had a lot of hate in his heart, justifiably so, but he had a lot of hate in his heart, you know? So Age of Apocalypse is actually pretty good. I don't think I want to run through that road again. Now, obviously, this centers around Cypher and Revelation and, you know, being Apocalypse Son and all that stuff. And then obviously Charles Xavier and Apocalypse are trying to figure out what do we need to do with this situation? Like, how do we need to handle this? Do we just go ahead and kill them off? Or what do we do with this? Obviously, Wolverine is his angel of death, and it took amplification of abilities to even put him under that state of mind. Obviously Fabian Cortez is one of his, you know, acolytes in a way, because, you know, Fabian Cortez is definitely the most capable of augmenting your abilities and making it better than what it is. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm just ready to get past Age of Revelation. I'm ready to get past Age of Revelation and jump into Shadows of Tomorrow, because I feel like Shadows of Tomorrow will be very good. When it comes to X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, X-Men and Uncanny X-Men is really good. I think it kind of stumbled a little bit when it came down to X-Manhunt. And I think that kind of like what got people a little bit off of that. And like, oh, well, we're going to the Age of Revelation and see what happens with that. Now, also from that standpoint, we got a few other titles that are out there that's part of the Shadows of Tomorrow continuity. So give me 1 second here. So according to Bleeding Cool, it says that it has seen an announcement as many new series and revivals and launching out of the back of the X-Men Age of Revelation event as part of the new Shadows of Tomorrow publishing plan, and including Inglorious X-Force by Tim Seeley and Michael Steyer Maria, with Boom Boom, Helverine, and Archangel as Cable is blown up and sent to the past with no memory of what happened to him. All he has with him is a list of names. One by one, he seeks them out to help him get back home. Now, one thing I will say, though, like Boom Boom is, I really want to see more of her as a character. Archangel, obviously, Helverine is there. So, Inglorious X-Force, will I pick this up? Yes. I'm getting that. I'm getting that. I'm definitely getting that. I'm definitely getting that. So that comes out January 2026. So this is after Age of Revelation event. So Age of Revelation, for what I understand, is supposed to end in December. So it's not going to be as long as we think it is. But the fact that Boom Boom is in here, man, maybe Cannonball. We can get some Cannonball in there, or some Richter, or, Shatterstar. I'm thinking back in the 90s. Don't worry about that. So that is exactly what's going on with that. But I will say there's other comic book titles that is coming out as well. So, and this is There's some more here. There we go. There we go. We in there like swimwear. So let's start with this right here. Magic and Colossus #1, man. Got their own solo series now. Obviously, y'all don't know their brothers and sisters or whatever the case may be. There's a Rogue #1 that is coming out right here. So Rogue #1. So it says Rogue has an idyllic life with her sweet Remy LeBeau, but there are still skeletons in her closet, one that comes out when she least expects it. Rogue has worked so hard to leave her villainous past behind. Unfortunately, the past doesn't stay in the past. What happens when it slams you right in the face? What past sin will make Rogue leave Haven House? Do Mystique and Destiny hold the answer? So obviously Mystique and Destiny will be part of this. And this is a 5-issue miniseries. And yes, I will be picking up Rogue, man. I will be picking up Rogue. Magic and Colossus, that is an instant cop. That is an instant cop for your boy. That is getting down. Now, it says Mutant Symbols Reunite. And it's written by Ashley Allen. And Ilyana Rasputin is a cynical sorceress with power harnessed from the dark realm of Limbo. And Pyotr Rasputin is made of steel, osmium, but with the heart much softer than his exterior. But despite being family, blood does not run thicker than water. When they return to their mother country, they discover ancient monsters from Russian folklore preying on the innocent. Can these two mutant siblings set aside their differences to save their country? The talented creative team behind Magic reunite for an X-Men story full of epic fights, mysticism, and family drama. Yo, I'm with that. I'm with that. And also, Erica Schultz will be the writer for Rogue. And when it comes down to Inglorious X-Force, we'll get there in a minute. But Deadpool #1, Wade Wilson, Deadpool #1 is February 2026. Benjamin Percy will be the writer for Deadpool #1. Benjamin Percy is a good writer, man. And it's been a little minute since I bought like a Deadpool comic. So this run, I would definitely read. I would definitely jump up in that for sure. Benjamin Percy. So Benjamin Percy is a good writer. He said, dangerous, unhinged, and deadly. Deadpool is a man on the brink. That means the jobs are deadlier, the stakes are higher, and the humor is darker than ever before. But Wade Wilson isn't laughing. A dark memory haunts Deadpool as a mysterious client leads him down a troubling path. This way lies redemption? No, something far worse. Wade can never be forgiven for what he's done on the new ongoing series. Now, that's also February 2026. This is also my birth month. So everything's coming out on my birth month. So I'm cool with that. Obviously, we talked about Cyclops #1. Now, there's also Generation X-23. And this is going to be written by Jody Hauser. And her name is Wolverine, but the legend of X-23 grows as Laura Kinney was brainwashed and trained from birth to be the ultimate assassin as X-23. And she's long put that life behind her. But it seems she hasn't quite outrun it yet. When Laura and Gabby encounter someone who seemed to be their long-lost friend, the harrowing plot they uncover will turn their worlds upside down. And the next generation of X-subjects is here, and they follow in deadly footsteps of X-23. Featuring the host of a new heroes and villains, and Generation X-23 has surprises in store for the Wolverine. And speaking of the Wolverine, obviously Wolverine solo series that's coming out, Wolverine #14, is going to continue. Obviously, and Silver Sable is part of that. So, Silver Sable, just because she's in it, I'm going to get that. Now, obviously, I did Storm. I did the Storm solo series, and I will continue to do it. And yes, Maria Iodeli, yes, she's cooking. And this is called Storm's Earth's Mightiest Mutant. So she's back again, and this is #1. Now it says the war above all. Now it says the most dangerous war in existence. Thunders louder and closer as the cosmos braces for annihilation. Storm, unaware of the coming threat, turns her gaze inward to her home, to Earth. Earth's mightiest mutant becomes Earth's protector once more in a daring new chapter of her life. Now, in this new beginning, Storm shares a Japanese tea ceremony with the enemy and visits France for a masquerade with monsters. However, it all ends in a gut-wrenching funeral. For in this new era, Aurora Monroe, brought to you by Maria, I Am Iron Man, Storm, Rogue Storm, and Federica Manson, Exceptional X-Men, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Mistress of Death, is never far behind. With death stalking the shadows, expect bloodshed, brutality, barbarism, and both emotions in the brand new Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant. Let me tell y'all something, man. If y'all ain't read Storm Solo series, man, the Thunder War, man.
That wasn't no bar. Listen.
Man, look. I'm gonna just tell you, man. Go out there and read that. And if you want just to see my coverage on it, go ahead and check it out too. Go ahead and check out my coverage on Storm. But I would definitely say Wolverine number 14. Wolverine number 14. He encounters Silver Sable. The flagship series return as Wolverine crosses paths with Silver Sable in a mission to save the cadre of Morlocks. But are they on the same side? And who's got Logan in their sights? And also, we got Uncanny X-Men coming back. Adjectiveless X-Men coming back. And X-Men 24. So number 23 and number 24 is there. And this is the epilogue. So one X-Man of the present has been stranded in the Age of Revelation and fighting against impossible odds in the world tomorrow. But while they've been there, what has their future counterpart been doing in their body in the present? And 24 is the Gene Terrorist Group 3K has been revitalized, but will their eternal schemes undo them? And obviously you got Uncanny X-Men with the festival event with Mutina. So that's coming out as well. So yeah, I'm not even going to hold you with the announcements of all these. I'm ready for Age of Revelation to be over. I'm ready for Age of Revelation to be over, man. Now, Rogue Storm, I might pick that up just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity, I just want to pick that up. Maybe because the fact, it's the same writer from the Storm Solo series. That is probably the reason. That's more. It is more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Maria is doing good work right there. So I don't think she's gonna her writing ability is gonna diminish for writing Rogue Storm. But I think with this, especially Age of Revelation, that's probably the one series that I really would actually pick up and read. You know what I'm saying? Binary might be something that I pick up at my leisure though. I might pick it up at my leisure and read. Not necessarily cover it, but just definitely pick it up at my leisure and just read it just to see what's going on. I ain't gonna lie, I did fall off on Wolverine a little bit. Ultimate Wolverine though. Ultimate Wolverine is really good. I do like where it's going. Obviously, the Ultimate Endgame that's coming up as well. I mean, Ultimate Universe has been cooking. It's been doing a lot of good things. Obviously, the Maker is coming back because the Maker has been missing. He's been gone, but he's set to return. So they are prepping for the return of the Maker. So we'll see what happens with that. So there's a lot of books, man. There's a lot of books that I got to catch myself up on. Obviously, I caught up on G.I. Joe. Just a little bit. I got a few. I say caught up, but I'm literally like three or four issues behind on G.I. Joe. But Transformers number 25 is out right now. With Dan Mora being the artist and Robert Kirkman, it looks nice. It really looks good. It looks nice. The artwork looks good. I'm really enjoying G.I. Joe though. I'm really enjoying G.I. Joe, and their take on it is like a little bit more brutal in ways, like Renegade, G.I. Joe Renegade. It's not like cookie cutter type of situation. So we'll see how that goes, man. But check it, man. That is our show for today, man. That is it for us on Saturday Morning Comics, man. I enjoy hanging with you guys. I enjoy all the love, all the comments, all the likes, and the sharing and everything else in between, man. I really, really do appreciate you guys for hanging out. And our subscriber count is jumping up. Our subscriber count is jumping up exponentially out there. And it's the fact that y'all hit that like button. It's the fact that y'all hit that share button, and the fact y'all hit that notification bell that says, and that drop down box that says all, that keep this channel going, man. Saturday Morning Comics is what I look forward to, because especially when I do like live shows, stuff like that, because I really want to interact with my subscriber base and like how they feel about certain comics that's out, or whatever the case may be, or answering certain questions, or if it's something that I don't even know. And I'm like, you know what? Let's research this together. Let's find this out together. That kind of thing. You know, because I do feel like there are creators out there that just talk just to talk. You know, that just put out misinformation and say, yeah, man, this person can't beat this person because of X, Y, Z, but you don't have any evidence of that. And, you know, there's a cat out here that got Charles Xavier in his top 5. As problematic as Charles Xavier is, they got him up there. Like him bad-mouthing other people. Like, it's crazy. I ain't going to out him like that. But yeah, you already know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. Now, as far as video game news out here, man, obviously Ghost of Yote, that is out. Man, listen, I haven't picked that up yet, but I got Battlefield 6. I did pick up Battlefield 6. I've been playing that for I played it for 7 hours yesterday. I played that thing for 7 hours yesterday. And after this show, I'm probably going to hop back on Battlefield. You know, I'm going to talk to the missus. I'm going to talk to Mrs. Orange Phoenix. I'm going to talk to her for a minute. And then I'm going to go back in my cave and I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do my third thistle. You know, I'm going to go out here and play that Battlefield again. Get back in the trenches, if you will, man. But hope you guys have a awesome Saturday, man. But before I do all that stuff, I'm going to go get me some breakfast first. I'm going to just make me a grilled cheese or some pancakes or something. You know, I'm getting y'all hungry. Y'all, I'm out of here, man. So until next time, y'all, peace.